5:47 a.m. Persian Gulf. Somewhere above the dark water, a U.S. aircraft is flying without lights, without radar, without a single signal that any enemy system can detect. But inside this aircraft, a weapon is active. Not a bomb, not a missile. Something far more terrifying. Something Iran has never seen before. Something they have absolutely no defense against. And in the next 22 minutes, it will destroy Iran's most protected, most buried, most fortified military asset without firing a single bullet. This is what just happened. Build credibility. Make viewer feel like an insider. For years, Iran believed it was safe. Its most important nuclear facility, buried 300 feet underground, inside a mountain, wrapped in reinforced concrete thick enough to survive a direct bomb strike, was untouchable. The U.S. military had built a bomb specifically designed to destroy it, the GBU-57, a 30,000-pound monster that can punch through 200 feet of solid rock. But that bomb has a problem. You still have to fly the aircraft carrying it through one of the most heavily defended airspaces on the planet. Hundreds of radar systems, dozens of surface-to-air missile batteries, Russian-built S-300 systems capable of locking onto a target the size of a bird at 90,000 feet. Iran knew this. Iran prepared for this. Iran spent 20 years and billions of dollars building a wall of steel around its skies. What Iran never prepared for was a weapon that doesn't fly through the sky at all, a weapon that travels through their own wires. Escalation every 30 seconds, never let viewer breathe. Here is what the operation looked like. Step 1. Distraction. 4 F-35C stealth fighters launched from the USS Abraham Lincoln, a 100,000-ton carrier moving at full speed through the Gulf. Each fighter carries ADM-160 decoys, small devices that mimic the radar signature of an entire strike package of bombers. The moment these decoys deploy, Iranian radar screens go from 5 targets to 50. Every alarm in their air defense network screams at once. Their commanders believe a massive U.S. airstrike is incoming. They pull every resource, every radar, every interceptor toward the sky. They are chasing ghosts. Step 2. The real weapon enters. While Iran is looking up, a lone EA-18G Growler, a specialized electronic warfare aircraft, flies to the edge of Iranian radar range. It does not need to enter their airspace. It only needs to get close enough to reach their communication network. The Growler's jamming pods fire a concentrated burst directly at the S-300 radar command link. Buried inside that burst, invisible, silent, moving at the speed of light, is a malicious data packet, the terrifying weapon. It slides through Iran's air defense network like water through a crack in a dam, bypassing every firewall, jumping from system to system, moving deeper underground with every millisecond, until it reaches the centrifuge hall at Natanz. Step 3. The kill. 5,000 centrifuge machines, each one spinning at over 1,000 miles per hour, separating uranium isotopes with the precision of a surgeon's scalpel. This is where Iran's nuclear weapons program lives. The weapon finds the control system. It does not shut the machines down. That would be too obvious. Operators would notice and fix it in minutes. Instead, it sends one small command: increase speed by 2%. That's it. A tiny change. Everything looks completely normal on the operator screens, but the machines are now spinning slightly faster than they were designed to handle. They begin to vibrate, then shake. Then, one rotor shatters. A piece of carbon fiber, moving at 1,500 miles per hour, punches through the machine next to it, which destroys the machine next to that. Within 12 seconds, 5,000 machines are tearing themselves apart in a chain reaction of metal, fire, and pressurized uranium gas. The temperature inside the underground hall reaches 2,000 degrees. On the surface, the ground shakes. A 4.2 magnitude seismic shock rips through the province. A massive column of fire erupts from the emergency vents, shooting 2,000 feet into the sky. Flip the victory. This is what gets shared. And here is where everything almost went wrong. Iranian commanders watching their sensors see what looks exactly like a nuclear weapon detonating inside a mountain. The heat signature, the seismic shock, the fireball, their dead hand protocol triggers automatically. They believe they are being hit with a first strike nuclear attack. And a desperate military with nothing to lose does only one thing. It retaliates with everything. Within minutes, anti-ship ballistic missiles are in the air. Suicide boats are moving toward the carrier strike group at 65 miles per hour. An Iranian submarine sitting motionless on the ocean floor for 3 days fires a rocket-powered torpedo that travels at 200 miles per hour, too fast for any physical defense to stop. The USS Abraham Lincoln, the most powerful warship in human history, has 10 seconds before a torpedo hits its reactor compartment. And this is the part the Pentagon has never publicly explained. The weapon, the same weapon that destroyed Natanz, had one final command buried in its code. A backdoor that nobody knew would ever be needed. In the last second, it reaches into the torpedo's guidance system and snaps the control fin hard left. The torpedo misses the carrier by less than 3 feet. 3 feet away from the worst naval disaster in American history. Force comments. End on dread, not victory. Iran's nuclear program is gone. No U.S. soldier set foot on Iranian soil. No bomb was dropped. No pilot was shot down. On paper, the mission was a perfect success. But here's the question nobody in Washington wants to answer publicly. That back door, the final command that saved the carrier, was it planned? Or was it a lucky guess by a programmer who happened to include it without knowing the carrier would be in the line of fire? Because if it was luck, if the back door had not been there, the USS Abraham Lincoln would be sitting at the bottom of the Persian Gulf right now. And the United States, believing it had been attacked with a weapon capable of sinking its most powerful carrier, would have responded the only way a nuclear power responds to that kind of attack. We would be in a very different world today. This is the terrifying truth about digital weapons. Once you release them, you cannot call them back. Once you teach a machine to kill, you cannot teach it when to stop. And the next time we unleash something like this, will we have a back door? Or will we find out the answer the hard way?